Michael Moore, the idiot liberal loser, is at it again. This time, he is weighing in on the police officer who was stabbed by an alleged Islamic terrorist at an airport in Flint, Michigan. Moore is causing quite a stir as he spewed "FCKU" after hearing about the attack. The terrorist shouted, "Allahu Akbar," while stabbing the cop in the neck, and all Moore could do was insult the wrong guy. Police say an airport officer was stabbed in the neck Wednesday morning at Bishop International Airport in Flint. The officer was taken to the hospital. Michigan State Police said the officer was in critical condition. He has since been upgraded to stable condition. Police identified the injured officer as Lieutenant Jeff Neville. NBC's news investigative journalist Tom Winter reports, the Canadian-born suspect shouted "Allahu Akbar" before stabbing Neville multiple times. The FBI said it is too early to determine the nature of the alleged statements, and based on information that we have at this time, we believe this to be an isolated incident. Well, that's all Michael Moore needed to make a jackass out of himself. Moore is from Flint, so he took the dire incident of a violent attack on a cop to make a point, or so he thought. This is where he says "F you if you think the attack on the cop was an act of terror." Moore says the governor is poisoning people, too. We all know about the Flint water crisis, which is what he is referring to, but the governor is not the guy who poisoned the water. And what does that have to do with the cop getting stabbed? First of all, the governor didn't poison the people of Flint. Obama's EPA, however, did play a role. And Flint's Democratic mayor did divert emergency relief funds to her PAC, reports Twitchy. It was Barack Obama's Environmental Protection Agency that dropped the ball, as Time reports, while much of the criticism over how poisonous levels of lead leached into Flint's water system has been directed at state and local officials. The federal agency charged with protecting citizens' health also played a critical role in the disastrous chain of events. Michael Moore never fails to remind us why the nutjob celebrities are completely out of touch with middle-class Americans. A police officer was in grave condition, and all Moore can angrily tweet about is the Flint water situation. There's no doubt that the water crisis is a horrendous situation on its own, but his hubris proves he has no idea about working-class men and women. Moore is guaranteeing more Republican wins. Islamic terrorism is one of the most important topics on the hearts and minds of Americans, and yet, Moore casts himself as just a working-class guy. Officer Neville, who was stabbed, is a working-class guy who puts his life on the line daily to ensure our safety. Cops have huge targets on their backs today, with the uptick of terrorist attacks. Moore isn't fit to wipe this officer's boots, as he hides behind his computer spewing hate. Thank God, we have President Donald Trump who values law enforcement, and Moore might want to retract his sentiments before he alienates every cop in Flint, Michigan. Please share the story and tell us what you think by clicking one of the buttons below. We want to hear your voice.